Lady Blackbird is on the run from an arranged marriage to Count Carlo. She hired a smuggler skyship, the Owl, to take her from her palace on the imperial world of Elysium to the far reaches of the Remnants, so she could be with her once secret lover, the pirate king Uriah Flint. However, just before reaching the halfway point of Haven, the Owl was pursued and captured by the imperial cruiser Hand of Sorrow, under charges of flying a false flag. Even now, Lady Blackbird, her bodyguard, and the crew of the Owl are detained in the brig, while the commander of the cruiser, Captain Hollis, runs the smuggler's ship registry over the wireless. It's only a matter of time before they discover the outstanding warrants and learn that the Owl is owned by none other than the infamous outcast Cyrus Vance. How will Lady Blackbird and the others escape the Hand of Sorrow? What dangers lie in their path? Will they be able to find the secret lair of the Pirate King? If they do, will Uriah Flint accept Lady Blackbird as his bride? By the time they get there, will she want him to? So we are currently trapped in the brig of this enormous, well, from the Owl's perspective, enormous cruiser, the Hand of Sorrow, belonging to the Imperium. The Owl has been stowed in the cruiser's hold, under inspection and all of that. We have been thrown into two cells facing in opposition. The gentlemen have been thrown in one, the ladies have been thrown in the other. And
which one is Snargle in?
Snargle is very upset at this impugning of his honor. He tried to get into the girls' room, but they wouldn't let him.
So just to get a sense, everybody is human except Snargle.
That's right.
And Snargle is a goblin.
He's a goblin.
Is this a common place to see goblins?
It's not commonplace, but goblins are known.
It says that he's a shapeshifter. So, do we actually know that he's the goblin, or is that?
Oh yeah.
There's lore.
What does it look like then?
Goblins can't become other people. They can manipulate their shape. They become taller, smaller, thinner, fatter, squeeze through things. He's more like Mr. Fantastic than like Mystique. My three gentlemen, you're in one cell, and then across, opposite. So your cells aren't next to each other, they're across from each other. And then my two ladies are in the other cell. So you guys are sort of facing each other. The walls around you are steel, the bars are iron. After sort of taking away your weapons and other stuff, and tossing you in and locking the cells, the guards have left you alone. Right now, they're radioing over that they've captured this ship called the Owl, whatever, over the wireless back to the throne world of the Imperium or whatever. So at the moment, nobody's been made in any way. The guards aren't paying special attention to the five of you, or the five of us, I should say.
And were we, in fact, flying under a false flag?
I don't know. Were you guys flying under a false flag?
Falling? I hope not.
No.
I don't know. Were we?
That's for the captain to decide, Captain Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those things in airplanes where like you can turn off your tracker.
Yeah. So, it was a literal flag in this case because we're very steampunk. But
flag.
So they are literal. So yeah, think lower tech. The guns are still flintlocks.
Yeah.
This isn't actually the future, although we're going through space. It's such easy going that you can do it with basically 1900
It's easier. It's easier to go through space when space isn't space.
Exactly.
When it's just breathable gas.
Yeah.
Also, another question in conjunction to the whole Snargle Goblin thing. How common is magic?
Magic is not common.
Not at all?
So, again, it's one of those things like, it is known, but it would not be common. Being a being able to sort of fuddle around with spells is more common. Actually being competent at magic enough that you would be considered a sorcerer is very, very rare.
Is it one of those types of fantasy worlds where it's more related to your bloodline type of idea?
Yes, it's 100% blood.
Okay, thank you.
All mages in this universe inherit their magic. They don't learn it.
And is most of it from the nobility?
Mostly, of course, obviously the nobles have a bastard child once in a while. So
only once in a while. Wow. So that's restraint.
Yeah, but it's all magic.
Magical contraceptives.
Blood is considered blood magic.
Okay.
In this universe.
Cool.
So good, very good question. Very good question. So, but any display of magic to someone would immediately betray that you have inherited magical abilities. So, which may or may not. It depends on who saw it. May or may not tip someone's hand to who you are or whatever. So, for any situation that requires initiative, like combat and all of that, again, there's no hit points, so it's very much like masks in terms of combat being abstracted. If you succeed, you beat the guy. If you don't, then something happened to you. For any situation that has an initiative roll necessary, or an initiative order that would make things a little bit more clear, I'm going to do the exact same thing we did for Face the Future. In those situations, Thomas, Cyrus Vance is always going to get handed the puck. You may choose in those situations to go first, or choose who goes first.
Understood.
And then we will pass the ball around just like we did for Face the Future.
Let's get her done.
Okay, so like I said, currently you are in these cells. The walls around you are metal. The bars are iron. The locks are actual locks. Like I said, there's no electronics, as it were. Your ship is steam powered. So is this ship, etc., etc.
Is this a universe where there's sort of a mix of technology levels where electronics exists, but you're mostly going to see mechanical devices, or is this we should be expecting Victorian England?
Yeah, this is pure steampunk in that regard.
All right.
So, if there is electricity, it's in some insane madman's basement as he experiments with Tesla coils.
Wild Wild West.
Wiki wild, wiki wild west.
Sure, yeah. There might be giant mechanical spiders, but they'd be steam powered. So there you go.
Hey, that was steam powered too, yeah.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was steam powered.
Wheelchairs, because that's the only way to get around.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So, yeah, just wacky things with steam. Whatever you can imagine, wacky things with steam. So,
steam powered board games.
So that's right.
Steam powered hot dogs.
Steam powered. Oh no. Already give me gas. Okay. So we're in these cells, opposite sides. The cells are not comfy. There's little beds, but they're just like metal slabs. There are guards sort of wandering around. Every so often, one might walk by your cells, but they don't pay you any particular mind. There's a couple of other random people in other cells. Most of the cells are in the brig right now are empty though. So the situation's pretty clear. Obviously, you need to get out of here, get to the owl, and boogaloo out of here before they figure out what's really going on.
Snargle prefers jazz.
How long was it between us being taken on board and them taking us into the brig? Like, how far down into the ship are we? If we know.
So the ship has 4 decks. One would be like the top area where like the gunner positions would be and all of that kind of bridge. There'd probably be 1 deck where the crew would hang out. There'd be a mess hall and stuff like that. The brig would kind of be in its own section, maybe along with like cargo stuff and maybe like the armory.
Okay.
Whatever, and then the bottom of the belly of the ship would probably be where they would have other ships. So the cruiser might have other like smaller ships that it could launch and all of that. So, and obviously would also use that space for transport, cargo, food supplies, whatever. So, but it's been like less than an hour that you guys have been in here. So they threw you in, they locked the gates, they went, stay out of trouble, we'll be back for you kind of thing. And then the commander wandered off, and now the guards are just doing the regular patrols. As the camera zooms in on the prison cells containing our characters, we get a look at, first, the crew of the Owl, starting with Cyrus Vance.
Hello, I'm Cyrus Vance. Cyrus Vance is, a clean-cut looking guy. You might not think he would be a smuggler at first glance. Like, he's clearly, rough and tumble, but his years of military training sort of show through. He wears short cropped hair and has a beard. Starting to get a few grays. Not all the way through, but he's starting to get up there in years. Decently well built, and as I mentioned before, he's clearly seen a scrap or two in his day. He's got scars.
Right. Okay. And then, of course, his first mate and engineer, Cale Arkham.
Hey, what's up? I'm Cale Arkham. I'm like super I'm dark as hell, man. I'm really like, you don't want to mess with me, man. I come from the streets, you don't want to mess with me is basically what I'm trying to get at is like, don't even mess with me, man. I got like really dark long hair. I got sleepless eyes, fuck it. I'm really sneaky and like don't leave like really important shit around because I will take it. All right, I will take that shit. All right, don't mess with me. Yeah, and basically I've lived by the word of my captain, who is like the most epic dude you can ever meet. He's so sick, dude. Like, fuck, he's so cool.
Nice.
Love this guy already.
He's so cool.
He's
and
fucking
of course,
sick, dude.
Somebody's gonna have a lot of energy. Holy shit.
And of course, our intrepid pilot and shape-warping goblin, Snargle.
Snargle is incredibly handsome. It is not Snargle's fault that humans cannot appreciate true beauty, but Snargle does pity them. Snargle can have many shapes, but generally remains a fairly stout 4 feet tall and 2 feet wide, and stares deep into the soul of the wild blue yonder, while munching on a cigar, as one must. Don't touch Snargle's control panel. This will be Snargle's only warning.
Okay, excellent. And then the camera, of course, pans to the left as we get a look at our female characters, the passengers of the Owl, or hopefully soon to be passengers of the Owl again. Starting with, of course, Lady Blackbird, Natasha Siri.
I think Lady Blackbird should go last.
You're right. It is the
He
title of the campaign.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, starting with Naomi Bishop.
It's not at all have to do with the fact I don't know her voice yet. No, not whatsoever.
Naomi Bishop is a woman of practicality. Short hair, clothes close to the body, nothing that can be grabbed, nothing that can be used against her. I've been exploited before, and I won't be exploited again. My usual decor would probably be considered a battle outfit by most, but I don't think of it that way. It's what I know. It's what I'm familiar with. This can stop bullets at close range. And if you're close enough to shoot at me, then I've already broken both of your hands. At a very young age, I discovered that I could smash stone just as easily as I could smash anything else. Call it magic, call it strength, call it fucking diamonds instead of bones, whatever you want. But some rich faggot noticed too, and stuck me in a gladiator pit. Well, I fought. And now I'm free. And and I sure as hell am not getting locked in another cage. Naomi Bishop is
Scary.
Is pretty tall for like a female of her age, and she's probably early to mid 20s by her look, but she's carrying the baggage of multiple lifetimes. She's seen some stuff. Scars to match Cyrus Vance probably, and maybe many more scars that aren't visible under the sort of short-sleeved leather vest that she would commonly wear. Like she said, her hair is kept very short and very practical. Not like shaved head, but like not long enough to do anything with.
Like no more than shoulder length type of idea.
Yeah, exactly. And
pixie cut.
Yeah, sure, right. Very muscular, especially
very nuclear.
Especially in the like forearms, biceps area, somewhat in the legs as well. And a grimace tends to be her neutral expression. She could be happy, could be sad, could be contemplative. What you're going to get is a snarl. She's got sort of darkish brown hair. She's decently pale. She hasn't gotten the benefit of a lot of leisurely sun tanning. Had it not been taken from her, she would be sporting what is effectively like sort of a hunting knife that she would keep in a sheath on her belt. Though, as she likes to remind anyone who gets too close to her or her charge, she does not need a knife to break every bone in your body and keep you alive. All right, and finally, the Lady Blackbird, the title of this campaign, Natasha Siri.
What?
The camera pans to you.
Oh, hello, my pretties. So I am playing Natasha Siri, and if she wasn't in disguise, she would look, well, if you've ever seen a noble, she looks like a noble. Very fine clothing, very steampunk-esque as well. Rivets everywhere, like buttons up the wazoo, belts everywhere. She definitely struts with the high heels. She's a bit taller than you would probably think an average woman would be. She's around 5'7". Very thin but athletic build as well. Slightly longer than shoulder hair. She would have blonde hair, again, if she wasn't in disguise. Yeah, and she also would be carrying around with her a rapier type sword. She does have a pretty fair complexion as well. Similar to somebody who's spent a lot of time in the clear skies of Elysium and the indoors of the rich versus the poverty. In her disguise, however, she does have darkened hair, and she has traded her regular clothing for something a little more commonplace, something a little more scraggly, like rather than the silks and the high fashion leathers that she's used to, it's more so wool and cotton that she's wearing to try and kind of blend in. And then on top of that, she's wearing a hat. Much as she hates it, she's wearing a hat. The type of aura you get from her is this sense of pride and wealthy upbringing. Like if she willed it, she could command you to do whatever she willed. And this other mysterious aura that you're not too sure where to place it, but it's almost as if there's something whimsical about her, as if you could just fade away into the distance as she serenades you to sleep, type of idea.
Great description.
Excellent.
It's more than good. Great.
Yeah. Well done.
Fancy.
Okay, so with that out of the way and an image of each of our characters in our minds, like I said, we find ourselves in not the greatest of situations, locked between the five of us into two barred cells. Like I said, guards occasionally patrolling down the halls, up and down. So at this exact, again, there isn't exactly like cameras watching us or anything. So at this exact moment, there's a guard down the hall to the left, guard down the hall to the right, kind of thing. We were brought in into the belly of the ship where the ship is still being currently held, and then sort of walked up to the brig. So we are aware at least of how to get back to the Owl from where we currently are. Finding our way back out, of course, wouldn't be that hard. Obviously, that's not the challenge. The challenge is getting out of these cells, getting past the soldiers and other guards that would be on the ship, and of course not getting just obliterated by the cruiser should we get back to the Owl, of course. But one thing at a time. First, I guess, it comes to the facts at hand. How do we escape and how best to go about it? So.
Can we actually communicate with each other between the cells, or is it pretty much cut off?
Yep. No, you're just across a small hallway from each other. So.
But anything we'd say would be overheard by the guards.
Yeah, if there's a guard close enough.
We can just assume that it's going through this echoey metal chamber we're in.
Yeah, everything's metally, and there's guards wandering around. So anything you do say out loud might be being heard by somebody.
One other question I have is, how common are cruisers like this? Is this like just a border patrol vessel and it gets bigger from here, or is this like a mega vessel that we just had incredibly bad luck in running into?
Or like something that was specifically hunting us, type of idea.
This is a big deal. This is a ship of the line, as it were. So,
interesting that it should stop someone just for running a false flag. They must take their smuggling very seriously.
Very highly oppressive, like hang you for murder, hang you for stealing, hang you for jaywalking, kind of.
Well, also
rulership.
Since considering we were traveling towards the free worlds, and if you look at the map, Haven is very close to Nightport. Nightport being the smuggler bases,
smuggler paradise. Kind of thing,
so
yes.
they're probably very on edge as well to basically do their job and report back to the nobles that they are.
That would be the remit in this area.
Yeah,
stamp down on pirates.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Anything heading towards this direction would already flag some suspicion.
Yeah, definitely.
I read stuff. Yay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
Okay. I guess I'll take the lead here. Hey, Anai. It's like, come here for a sec.
Of course, my lady. She goes from, just to give everyone a physical description here, she goes from very much like arms crossed, like if looks could kill, kind of just staring into the void. The moment Blackbird calls her name, she eases. So her arms uncross, and she kind of gives you your undivided attention.
So Nai, I have an idea. I might be able to get the guards distracted with, my impeccable charms, and but we need to get the other three out.
She leans on the bars. The bars are just iron, my lady. I could bend them, but it's going to be conspicuous.
Well, okay, look, I'm gonna see if I can pull them away to another room, claiming I have information. You know what I mean?
Dangerous. If they find out who you are, we're toast.
I know, but we need to get out of here. You don't know how serious. No, you do. Sorry.
Snargle needs a 10. Why is there no 10? There was a 10 in this deck previously. Arkham, have you stolen Snargle's 10?
Stolen your 10? I don't know.
I draw 3 cards from the top, and there is no 10 in here. I do it again, still no 10.
Yeah, Snargle, it's the same thing every time we play. Oh, Kale has stolen the 10s. Just because he can't put together a hand for shit doesn't mean that one of us is cheating.
That seems like a likely excuse.
No, he's right.
Snargle feels like there probably is a handful of 10s stuck up your sleeve even now.
Look. Kale shakes his arms. Nothing. Look.
While he's looking very hard at Kale's arms, Cyrus continues to push the 10 further up his sleeve.
Have you tried checking the next cards? As you hear from the cell next to you.
Snargle feels fairly confident that nowhere in this deck will be found a 10, and yet Snargle persists. Snargle is not sure why.
Bishop looks at the 3 nincompoops in the other cell and does not say this quietly. I guess we were desperate to get off the planet.
Cyrus stands up and puts his cards face down on the floor and moseys over to the bars. Look, I know that this isn't maybe the best situation, but to say you would have to be desperate to hire us, I mean, you know our reputation. We're the best crew in the system.
The best.
Out of nowhere, you see Natasha kind of step away abruptly. How dare you, guards!
Okay, one of the guards comes out the hallway. What is it?
This man, he tried. Oh, you know what? I've had enough of this. I have information.
He looks at you. Information on what?
This, and she kind of does like a dismissive wave towards the crew. Those 3 ruffians over there.
He looks over the 3 ruffians. Information about what?
Nonsense. Snargle was not smuggling anything this time. No drugs, no illicit goods. I mean, we do that often, but not this time.
I'll have you know that, despite how it may look, only 2 of us are ruffians. Snargle's completely clear here.
Wow, Snargle feels warm in his heart. What is this feeling?
Shut up! What were you saying about information?
Look, and then I kind of approach him a little bit, like strutting a little bit.
Okay, I can come up to the bars.
Yeah,
because he doesn't come into the cell; he's in the hallway. Yeah.
Well, you know, just some information that could help with the investigation. And you look like a fine young chap. I'm sure you could like get the others here and help out a young lady such as myself.
He blushes a tiny bit as he peeks a look at the feminine persuasion aspects of Natasha's theory and says, well, of course, any information to the Empire could help us both out. All right, Kirk, it looks like you'll be making the first roll of the campaign. What do you think might work out for you in this situation?
I could feel either charm or cunning.
Yeah, I think both are relevant. Which one would you want to go? What do you want to go for?
I was trying to charm up this guy, so let's go with that.
Charm, okay. And give me your argument for your tags.
Charisma, of course.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Presence, because it's me.
Okay, especially in a physical sense, the guy is obviously infatuated with you. Sure.
Command, because I am trying to, in a sense, command them in doing what I ask.
Okay, all right, sure.
And servants, because I see them as below me.
Yeah,
but that they should listen to me regardless of what objections they have, because I'm just better than everybody.
But from his perspective, he doesn't understand why he would think of that. So I don't think so. But you got charm, charisma, presence, and command. So that's 4 plus 1.
So the trait also counts. Okay.
Yeah, the trait counts as well. So charm, charisma, presence, command gives you 4 plus 1 base. That gives you 5 dice to roll.
Okay.
That's your pool, and unless you would like to take some from your personal pool to add.
Nope, I'm good with that.
Okay, so 5d6 is what you're rolling then. 3 success. Okay. The guard is smitten with you, perhaps for the wrong reasons. But he says, very well. I can just smell a promotion coming on. The guard looks at Naomi Bishop and says, "You, back off from the bars." Bishop takes one last moment to whisper in your ears. My lady, are you sure?
And I just give her a quick nod.
She backs off.
As like I'm confirming to the guards, like, okay, yeah, I'm right here.
And he takes out the keys, puts the key in the lock, turns the lock, opens the cell, pulls out his gun from his holster and points at you. All right, in front. Let's go.
Okay, all right. Don't know why you need the gun, sir. Just a harmless woman. That's all.
Keep walking in front of me. Yeah. We'll see how harmless.
Well,
Ugh.
it depends on what kind of harm you're looking for.
Snargle is
And-
feeling distinctly slimy, and he hasn't even
Exactly.
changed his shape recently.
The guard shuts the cell, locks it back up, and escorts you down the hallway.
Okay. How many guards would be remaining then?
There's only 2 patrolling this area. So one is
Okay.
taken off with you to
And where would the other
an
one be?
interrogation room.
Do we know?
Somewhere else down the hall. It kind of curves around, like there's the sharp corners, and they're not in this immediate hallway. So could be to the left, could be to the right. They do sort of a circular patrol.
When was the last time we saw the other one?
Mm-hmm. How long ago?
10 minutes ago, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so maybe do back around, maybe not. Have we
Yeah.
got a sense by now of how long their rounds generally take them?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, you've been here
Okay,
less than an
and
hour,
what is
but
that?
enough to probably see 15-ish minutes. I mean, you don't have a timepiece on you.
Okay, so we've got like roughly
Mm.
5 minutes before the other fellow might come back round.
Yeah,
Mhm.
All right.
probably. So,
All right. Well, in that case, Snargle sort of frowns and shrugs and turns back to his captain. Snargle is thinking, this is boding badly for our particular mission. Should we leave?
Yeah. I mean, we were getting to it. I wanted to finish the game first, but it would seem the ladies pushed our timetable up a little bit. So,
Snargle shrugs and knocks the cards over. Oh no, Snargle is so clumsy. Now we will never finish this game and know who would have won. And then,
All right,
and then Snargle walks over to the bars, pauses for a moment, looks at Arkham. I know you have lockpicks.
All right. Let's do this now. And he reaches into his pocket, puts both his hands through the grate, and from the outside.
I mean,
hey. Sounds like you're picking the lock then, Kale Arkham. Let's see that roll. What trait do you think would help you here?
Burglar, probably.
Okay.
What? No.
To me?
That's a weird tag.
And the specifically because I have locks in there.
Yes, I see locks. Yep, that makes perfect sense.
Quiet. It has
Quiet memory.
dexterous, locks, traps.
Yeah,
sneak.
those are all fine. I'm assuming you're trying to do it quietly then.
Mhm.
And you're trying to do it dexterously.
You are bending around the corner, so I'll allow burglar. Quiet makes sense. Dexterous makes sense. Locks makes sense.
Stealthily.
What
So,
about sneak? Because we're trying to sneak out of here.
well, but sneak's not applying to the act of the lock picking.
My conflict
That's
with
more
quiet.
that's more a movement thing. So I think I've already given you quiet there.
But I did sneak these in
Ooh.
past the guards.
That's true.
Mm.
Objection.
But the fact that you have lock picks on you is really a benefit of your secret as opposed to your trait here.
Okay.
So, I might give you perceptive though,
All right.
since you're trying to do something that you're putting your focus towards.
Okay. I have to
Okay.
focus on the
Yeah.
lock for a bit. So yeah.
So I'll give you burglar, quiet, dexterous, locks, and perceptive. That gives you 5 plus 1. That's 66.
Nice.
Okay, Arkham, looks like you got 4 successes. Very nice. Wow. Yeah, you get the lock on the door picked and quietly and in no time at all. So you hear that distinctive click as you manage to hit your mark.
And as quietly as possible, under his breath, Kale is like, sick. Fucking sick. And he says that every single time, too.
Right.
Kind of like a steampunk skater boy.
Vance walks over and pats him on the shoulder. Good one, Kale. All right. Guard should be coming around any time now.
Yes.
So, what we're going to do is wait for him to pass. And then we're going to unlock hers, and she can go deal with him.
Wait, we're just gonna wait here?
They took my pistol.
We're unarmed. So you guys aren't as incompetent as I thought. We'll see if we can get back to the owl in one piece.
Snargle is feeling like one Imperial Guard is not so big a deal.
You don't need to unlock my gate. When the guard passes, I'll break the iron and break his skull at the same time.
Snargle feels like this is going a little overboard.
Right, here's the thing. We're in the middle, like, the underbelly of an Imperial ship, right? And we're not just talking, like, you know, some rinky-dink fucking cruiser on the edge of the system. This is a serious ship, and it's got serious manpower. I know you can break that iron.
But can you do it quietly?
You can break his skull, but you can't do it quietly. And if we get swarmed in here, you can only take out so many guys before they get you. I don't care how fucking good you are.
At least a couple of Imperials will die before I do.
Snargle feels like this would be a good day to live instead.
Right, I'm with Snargle. Trust me, I'm all for seeing imps bite the dust, like, any day of the fucking week. But I'd rather walk out of wherever it is we're laying them to rest. You know what I'm saying?
Fine, do your thief shit, and as soon as that goes haywire, I break necks. And she sits back down.
Snargle doesn't even see a toilet around here. Snargle hits his key yet again.
Fine. Take two.
Oh my goodness.
Are you taking both those as XP?
Well, yes, obviously.
Okay. All right.
I have all these things to buy.
Yeah.
I am wondering, did one of my keys trigger when I was talking to the guard?
You're gonna have to just say it. I don't have everyone's key memorized.
The imposter.
Oh.
Fool someone with your disguise.
Sure. So yeah, you hit your key. Take an XP or take an extra die. So
I will take an XP.
So and make sure if you take the XP, you're keeping track of that somewhere. So and let me know when you've hit 5. So.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, Bishop just sits back down, I guess.
Yeah, we're just gonna wait until the guard passes so that we can start on our merry way with his back to us.
Right. Okay, so scene change then to Blackbird. He's led you to an interrogation room, basically, which is just another cell, basically at the end of the hall. It's slightly bigger. This one's got like a table in it, and that kind of thing, and a single kerosene lamp burning on one end, kind of thing. One end of the room, rather, not on one end of the lamp. Obviously, he with the butt of his gun, kind of like motions you to enter the room. And
oh there, buddy. Just don't have to be so rough. Okay, I'm going in the room.
Now, what seems to be this information?
Well, you see, I was actually taken against my will, and I'm looking for a big, strong man to help me out. You know what I mean? Kind of rescue me from this whole situation, kids. I just want to go back home to my parents.
Of course, yeah. Please don't cry. You a citizen of the? He puts his he holsters his gun. You a citizen of the Empire?
Yes. I haven't seen my family in months now, and I'm just so alone.
Okay. He starts sweating. Okay. Listen, miss. tell me your name, and I'll get somebody upstairs to get on the wireless to your family.
Or, look, I'm not in. I'm not any trouble. Can I just come with you? I don't want to be down here anymore.
I'm afraid we have to follow procedure. So you give me your name. I'm running up to the communications deck. Okay, don't worry. We won't keep you with those freaks over there. I'll keep you separate until we've sorted this out.
How close to me is he?
He's like right in front of you. Like he was doing the whole like come this way, and then as soon as you basically started like tearing up, he put his gun away, and now he's kind of doing that weird awkward thing people do where when someone's upset, they're like so he has kind of like his hands out, like hovering over your shoulders, like where he like is hoping just like the aura of his body heat will comfort you or something, but he's not actually touching you.
I get down on my knees and like grab like his lower leg around his boot. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Why don't you just have a seat here, miss, and so we'll make sure we post somebody to protect you. Yeah. Have you actually got into a chair?
I get up after that and I sit down.
Yeah. Okay. So just wait here, miss, and I'll be back later. And he turns to leave. And you let him walk?
I'm debating that.
Yeah, I know, I could hear it in your voice.
No, yeah. Here's a question. How would my sorcery manifest in this reality?
That entirely comes down to the number of successes you get and what you're trying to make the powers do.
Okay, because like I have like
magic is wild and chaotic in this world.
Okay.
Yeah, the exactness of what they do will most likely come down to the successes you roll. Less successes or failure will probably make them a lot more destructive and uncontrollable. More successes will make them much more bending to your will. So.
Okay. So when he turns, I want to get up.
Okay.
And just give him a quick hug from behind.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. How could I ever repay you?
He gets awkward. He's like, yeah, no need to thank me, miss. All part of the job.
And then I want to take one of my hands and kind of brush it against his face and try to pass some electricity into him to kind of
shock him and
to kind of stun him.
Right. And your intent is to knock him out, kind of thing?
Yes, not to kill. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Non-lethal lightning damage, please.
Okay. Which tag are you going to be using for this?
Master Sorcerer, of course.
Makes sense. Okay.
Spellcaster.
Yeah.
Trying to channel it.
Okay, channeling's fine.
Lightning.
That's fine.
And Stormblood.
Yeah, Stormblood also always applies. That's your blood lineage. Yep. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 plus 1 is 6 dice.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, 5 successes. Wow, 5. That's the primo endo.
Baby.
Right there. Have you ever had that sensation when you're like going down a slide as a kid and you pass something metal and you get that little static cling, like static shock kind of feeling? Your whole body feels like that for a moment. And you feel the very blood in your veins shoot out like electricity. The hairs you do have on your arms and such stand on end as you become a literal lightning rod. And the world around you is the lightning. Power shoots out of your fingers with grace and precision. Hits him with the strengths of hundreds of volts, thousands of volts. He shakes in your grasp and then just slumps over to one side.
Cool. I catch him so he doesn't make a sound, and
Yeah.
I rest him gently on the floor like he's just sleeping.
Excellent. Okay.
And then I want to pat him down for keys and other paraphernalia to try and get out of here.
Okay, you do find a set of keys. There are various shapes and sizes, but none of them are labeled or anything like that. So.
And then before I walk away, I just look at him. It's like, I hate to have done that to you, but I thank you for your patronage. I give him like a nice gentle kiss on the forehead, and then I go away.
Yeah. Okay. Coming back to our quad, the other guard does indeed pass by a minute or two later. He's none the wiser to Kale's job, obviously, because I'm assuming the actual door is still closed, even though the lock is open.
Yeah. Seems like a sound assumption.
He walks by, he stops for a moment, just kind of glances at the two cells. Doesn't pay any mind that there's only one prisoner on the one side, so whatever. And then he kind of looks around and says, whatever, and then keeps walking.
Once he's around the bend, I pull the door open, and I go, and I point to the lock on the other side, and I go, all right, Kale, should be a bit easier from this side.
Right. I get right to quickly opening it up.
Okay, yeah, I think the same tags apply, except this time I think you could have sneak, because there is movement involved.
So that's 7 dice then.
It is.
So that's
3.
3.
3. Okay. Yeah. So, last time we got 4. Yeah. So not quite as graceful, but it's still easy peasy for someone who's been doing this for a while like you.
I could do it better when I can't see it. All right.
So, now the
Snargle doesn't want to know why that is.
Naomi's staring at you with like a cold stare, so probably makes you nervous or whatever.
You just gotta treat it like a bra.
Snargle said he didn't want to know why that is. Snargle hits his key again.
For fuck's
No, Chris. Chris made me laugh that time.
I imagine when Kale says nice under his breath, it actually like gives you guys away.
Just like nice. Got it.
That's sick. I did it again. Yes.
Just like shouts, punches the wall beside him. Yes.
All the alarms go off.
I think I also triggered key of the mission.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Got the mission going. Yeah. Kale,
I think from now I'm just going to put this into a proposal for us all. That'd be better for us to whisper to the GM when we think we've hit a key, because it's disruptive to keep mentioning it.
Yeah,
hey, I think I role played well. Give me a point already. No, I've been doing it too, so I'm going to cut it out.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
See, but Snargles is like a humor key from the sound. Like it's part of the character
funny
when
to
you
say
say
that he did so. I know, but I still think it's disruptive, so I'm going to knock it off.
Yeah, so, and that is going to be entirely in your court. Even if GM Nathaniel thinks you hit a key, I will not prompt you unless you tell me.
Cool,
okay, so that is going to be your court.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah, so the lock
That is what
clicks.
it's like in a modern democracy, always downloading it onto the shoulders.
That's right, I'm
the
delegating.
plebeians.
Okay, so Naomi Bishop sort of pushes on the gate and sort of slides forward. Very well. Let's collect my lady and get out of here. We need to go back down.
This is, of course, the easy part. Snargle remembers that there were some serious clamps on the owl.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, Snargle.
Yes,
all right.
Snargle remembers there being a bridge as well.
But most ships have one, yes. Now then, if you'll follow me, well, if they're still making these things like they used to, I have a pretty good idea of where we might find the prisoner room. And I start walking down the hall in the direction that the guard took the lady.
Right. She clenches her fists, but she follows.
Snargle would suggest maybe a back rub, or maybe a nap. You seem grouchy.
I know you don't have any bones to break, but don't talk to me unless I speak to you.
Snargle will put that down under very grouchy.
Damn it.
Mm.
Okay. Cyrus, since you're leading the way, I'd like you to roll like this is abstracting you getting to Siri,
Okay.
reuniting, and then working your way down to Deval. Sort of like a navigation, leadership role, whatever you want to think of it as.
So I'm going to use Ex-Imperial Soldier as my trait.
Okay.
I'm going to use
Knowledge of the ship makes sense.
Yeah, Imperial warships. Obviously,
Yep.
I have a general idea of where I'm going.
Yep.
We'll go with soldiers because I'm trying to avoid patrols. I have a general idea of how a general patrol route would go in here.
Okay.
I'll ask for command since I'm trying to lead the group silently with me, but that's up to you.
I think that's fair.
I think those three are the main. Those are the big three that land on this one. So
okay, so Ex-Imperial Soldier, Command, Soldiers, and Imperial Warship. That's 4 + 1 is 5.
3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. No problemo. You managed. So, you managed to find Lady Blackbird on the way, and again, Bishop kind of immediately eases up once she sees her, and she's okay. What became of the other guard, my lady?
Oh, he's sleeping it off.
Mm.
As I have the key spinning around in my finger.
Very
well,
good.
Glad you managed to handle that. I was gonna, make a fun little quip about how an Imperial starship isn't the right place for a lady, but maybe I'm a little off base on that one.
I've been through worse than this. You haven't seen anything yet, good sir.
So, you got the key. You wouldn't happen to have grabbed his sidearm, would you?
Well, it's right back there in the room if you want to get it.
Cyrus Vance does want to get it.
Okay, you can get it.
Level up.
So you have a pistol now. You can use that in applicable situations if you need it.
They don't give ammo to the guards on this ship.
Don't trust them.
Bummer for them.
We should raid one of the weapons lockers. Arm all of us before we go back to the ship.
I bet I can find something good in there.
Bishop walks over to a metal panel on the wall and rips the door off. Throws it down on the ground. Everyone get a weapon.
Oh, I already got my wits and charm about me, but if you insist, Naya, yeah, sure, I guess I can grab something.
I wince at the sound that ripping a steel door off or an iron door off and throwing it onto the iron ground necessarily makes.
Mm-hmm.
And Snargle just kind of crosses his arms. Snargle's weapons are on the ship. Snargle has very particular needs and tastes.
Bishop grabs nothing but a single knife.
Are there swords here?
There's cutlasses. The short, curvy kind of swords.
Okay, I grab one of those.
So do I.
I grab a second pistol.
Okay.
And a sword if there's a third one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just assume there's whatever you want.
Great.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
A pistol for me as well.
Okay. So just make note of whatever you've taken from this locker, and then we'll mosey on. So.
I grab a grenade.
Also, Nye, if
no
I
grenades.
can, just next time you go about ripping things, can you do it a little bit quieter?
She frowns a little bit at you. Forgive me, my lady. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just.
I was just thinking that it would be dangerous to go any further without weapons. It would be harder to protect you.
And I completely value and appreciate that. You do know that, right?
Snargle suggests we save the hugs for later.
Just quieter next time.
Okay. Yes, I understand.
Back you, Snargle.
Okay. Captain Vance, let's get out of here.
I do want to make this clear. I'm not looking to fight our way out. I will if we have to, but I'd rather we tried to stay quiet for as long as possible.
There will almost certainly be at least a couple of Marines taking inventory of the inside of your ship. Fighting may be inevitable.
Captain, I just want to say, what you just said is the tightest shit I ever heard, man.
Yeah, it's a. When I'm hanging out with you, Kale, it's basically just a running tally. But I just always trying to one up myself. You know what? Let's go.
Even Snargle is blushing, although you can't tell.
Is it just like a darker green?
All right, and away we go, following the lead of our intrepid captain.
You make it back you manage to sneak into the belly of the ship. So if you can imagine, I imagine this being a very cool cinematic sort of shot, where like they show the belly of the ship, and there's all these like smaller sort of launch crafts scattered around, and crates of ammo and food and all of that kind of stuff, and a couple of guards sort of doing little patrols, and then this shot of the five of you kind of darting from cover to cover as you make your way back to towards the owl. So I want everyone to make a stealth, etc. Sort of roll as you work your way back to the owl. Interpret it however you'd like. Whatever you think would help your character make it back to the owl, with the idea that you're trying not to be detected.
All right, who would you like arguments from first?
I'll start with Cyrus.
All right.
Okay, we'll consider this scene in initiative because there is the threat of being detected.
Okay.
I will use my smuggler trait. Sneak and hide naturally.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is camouflage a decent argument? When we're running in and out of cover, I'm like trying to camouflage myself.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And an argument could be made for deception, but I won't make it because I'm not like lying or anything. So we'll say 4. No,
4.
5 because I had a +1.
Yeah, 4 + 1. Yeah.
2 successes.
Okay, so I'll have everyone roll, and then we'll sort of see what the results are like. Pass the puck.
We will move on to Snargle.
Okay.
All right. Snargle is going to attempt a little bit of chameleon magic here and change his skin color to match the background somewhat, to fade into it as he continues. Yes. So we're going to go with Goblin. Get a little bit of that warp shape in there, along with Glide, Agile, and Quick.
Glide, Agile, Quick. Okay, sure. 5 + 1. Also 2 successes. Okay. Pass the puck.
Pass it to Kale.
Okay.
Rude. All the guys going first. What is this? Masculine party?
All right. I'm like a fucking shroud, dude. I'm like, no one knows I'm even there.
I'm so gnarly, man.
I'm like down deep as close to the floor as possible, just sneaking the hell through, man.
Please, Lord, please. 0 successes.
I'm going to go burglar on this with quiet, sneak, hide, dexterous, perceptive, traps, darkness, the whole 9 yards, you know?
I'll accept everything but traps.
I'm like checking for traps, though.
You are a trap.
It's an easy way to get +1. I'm always checking for traps.
Just always checking for traps.
Bro, I'm always looking around for traps. So how many is that then?
Burglar, quiet, sneak, hide, dexterous, perceptive, and darkness. 7 + 1, that's 8.
Wow. Gets 1 success.
And you got 3. Okay.
3?
That'll
Okay.
do her.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's not as good as it could have been, but you know.
Not as good as 5.
I'm off my game. All right.
Yeah.
I do it better when I can't see.
Chill. Pass the puck?
That's the thing. You pass first, and then I'll say my quip.
I'm gonna pass it over to Naomi.
Okay.
Your hiding was actually top notch. It was perfect. The problem was every time you successfully hid, you went sick, and that kind of gave you away a little bit.
I'm like really not quietly, but still under my breath, like I'm fucking dark, dude. I'm so fucking.
This is such a sick shadow right now, bro.
I am fucking invisible.
And you would have been
inaudible.
Yep, you would have been invisible had it not been for the praise of yourself.
Like even if there's like a guy that's like got his back turned, I'm like, bro, you can't even see me, dude.
Nice.
Whoa, dude, where's that voice coming from? I can't see him.
Just swings his hand in front of his face a few times. Invisible.
Naomi goes for ex-slave, sneak, hide, and run. So that's 4 plus 1 is 5. Three successes. Okay. And then obviously I pass it to Lady Blackbird.
Do you think history would come into play here? What about science? Can I use my wealth to get through? I think I can.
Move over, bitches. I'm rich.
I'm so wealthy, you can't even hear me outside of my coins falling everywhere. So
that's it.
I'm gonna have to go with cunning. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm thinking disguise because I look like a normal person.
Okay, sure.
And I'm more sneaky than normal.
Sure.
Codes because I have all this math floating in front of my face all times.
Oh, what is this? The series numbers?
That show.
Okay. How about this? Can I justify codes to basically be trying to check to make sure we're not setting off alarms? Like inputting the correct codes in to do all of that.
I'll think about it. Anything else?
Okay. Deception and misdirection?
Those are fine.
Okay.
Cunning, deception, misdirection, disguise. I think that's what I'm giving you. Is those 4 plus 1.
5? Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get 6 successes, baby.
On 5 dice? I would love to see it.
I'd love to see it.
Wow, it's almost like I rolled 8 dice.
Yeah.
Almost.
3 successes. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry, Kristen.
There we go. We beat the success threshold. Perfect. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
You make it back to the owl, and the guards throughout the corridors are none the wiser. You manage to get to the bottom of the ship, and you open the hatchway. For as Naomi suspected, there are 2 Marines currently inside the ship, basically like wandering around the main galley, taking stock of what these dirty smugglers have on their ship. So as the hatch comes down, they just
Sparkle bathes regularly.
They just start to sort of turn towards you as the hatch comes down. The 5 of you see them. You're gonna have to take these. You're gonna have to take these guys out of your ship before you get on out of here.
Were they going through my panty drawer?
So.
Well, you've been on the ship for 1 day. You don't have a panty drawer on my ship.
Oh, you know I do. You know I do.
How? But why?
Anyways, Cyrus Vance, you have initiative. Go first, or choose someone to go first.
Let's go loud. Cyrus is gonna drop through the hatch onto the metal gangway.
Yeah.
Do like a little action roll and pull out both of his pistols and just start fucking going. So I'm gonna use the warrior trait naturally.
Okay.
Shooting, 2-gun style, and pistol.
Okay.
And battle hardened.
Okay.
So for a total of 6 after my bonus.
5 plus 1. Yep. Remember, you are able to add your personal pool to any roll.
Oof. Oh no, it's not the most successes.
Okay. You do roll. The pistols come out and the bullets fly. You manage to get one of the Marines in the shoulder. Because he doesn't go straight away, he sort of yells out in pain, alerting a couple of other soldiers nearby in the bay who come over, not necessarily expecting aggression, but just starting to come over to investigate the noise.
Yes.
Two more soldiers are on the way, so just keep that in mind.
Excellent.
From inside the owl?
So not from inside the owl, from like in the hangar area.
In the hangar bay where we're clamped down.
Shout going, ah! Right, so now 2 others are kind of running over to be like, what was that? Sort of thing. So, and they heard like bang bang.
Yeah, and presumably the gunfire. All right, and I will pass the turn to I'll pass the turn to Naomi Bishop. Okay. Our other fighter.
Bishop pulls her knife from her sheath and rushes the guard that Cyrus shot. So she is going to use Pit Fighter. That makes sense.
Is she in a pit though? I don't know.
Combat tested. This is a melee fight. She's done this many times. Brutal. She is not holding anything back. Fast. She's running for him. Hard. She's breaking heads. And what about living weapon? Does that make sense to you guys?
Well, is she living?
Yeah.
Does she consider herself a weapon?
So yeah, definitely.
Then yeah.
6 plus 1 is 7. Okay.
4.
She runs for the guy and plunges She plunges her knife into the guy's neck. And he gurgles in pain as he drops to the ground. Naomi kicks him down the ramp. And she passes the puck to Blackbird.
Okay. Can we visibly see the clamps attached to the owl?
Yep.
Okay.
One on each side.
Is there like a steampunk control panel?
Yeah, there's like one of those big like metal like levers.
I don't know what to do. I'm gonna defer for now.
Okay, defer to who?
Who's left? Snargle and Kale?
That's right.
Kale.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait by the door that they have to enter through, and I'm gonna knock them both out.
Oh, the two guys that are running. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll push them off the back.
Okay. So what I'll have you do then? Okay, so do they'll like clap their hands together kind of thing. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so they haven't. So they're not going to arrive probably until the top of next turn. But what I'll have you do is I'll have you make the roll now,
and then I wasn't insane.
And then I'll have you roll and then I'll resolve what actually happens because of your roll when they are on the scene, as it were.
Okay.
So tell me what you're doing here. Tell me what you're rolling here.
I'm rolling tricky. Because
okay.
there is a tag that is dirty fighting.
Yes, dirty fighting. I see it. That's fine.
I think escape also works because we are trying to do so. So
that's the intent.
Helping us in doing that.
Okay.
And I think quick as well because I'm going to have to be quick. Grabbing
lightning reflexes. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. So tricky, quick, dirty fighting, and escape. Okay. 4 plus 1.
That's 5, baby.
2. Okay.
I'm gonna pass it over to Snargle.
Snargle, becoming aware that additional guards are coming due to all the noise, hisses under his breath and then quickly skitters to one side, I should say, and starts making the sounds of conflict, the pop of a gun, the screaming for help. And then he does it again a little further away, and then once more a little further away from the owl.
Right. Okay, cool.
So for that, I'm going to do some sly. Got some crafty, some sneaky, some distraction, some bluff, and some languages.
Some yelling. Okay. Not train speak? 3,
So that might be pushing it.
6 plus 1?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, baby!
Supernatural.
They fall for it hook, line, and sinker.
What the hell, man?
No. It's so unnerving that probably a couple of the party members think there's something going on somewhere else in the hangar. So
everybody's fighting in this hangar. It's just really popular today. And then Snargle quietly makes his way back to the ship as soon as he feels convinced that the guards are in turn convinced and are no longer headed for the owl.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Super duper. So there's still the one guard on the ship, and there's still the lever to be pulled.
Okay, and there's still me.
And there's still you.
I go towards the lever, and I need you. Give me a hand over here. Got the lever.
Are you pulling the lever, or are you just getting in position to pull the lever?
I'm going to start pulling the lever, but calling Nye over in case I need help. Here we go.
Okay, well, let's try pulling the lever and see. You might be able to do it by yourself.
Okay, I have an idea here.
Okay.
This is an Imperial cruiser, right?
Yes.
I am an Imperial noble.
Uh-huh.
So I am educated in science, and I have connections to know about this stuff.
4 + 1.
4 + 1, 5, 1.
The lever's a little heavier and stiffer than you thought it would be. It doesn't really yield under your.
Well, I am of
force.
House Blackbird, where I am of thinner stature. So
Yeah. So
the lever weighs more than me.
we come back to the top of the turn. Yeah, the Marine is still in the ship. He's just watched his friend drop, so he's a little startled. He pulls out his pistol and basically yells like, "Get back to your cells!" And
Okay.
Damn, he got me. I go back to my cell.
Yeah, nobody's ever said that before. Damn, yeah, we just all go back.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Well,
we
I thought
defeat,
so.
sorry.
I thought so. Yeah. So, okay, Cyrus, puck's yours.
I was considering like trying to talk him down, but you know what? I'm just shooting this guy.
Okay.
So warrior, battle hardened, shooting, 2-gun style and pistol.
Mm-hmm.
So for a total of 5.
Gotcha.
No, for a total of 6.
5 + 1.
Yeah. I keep messing that up. Amazing!
Bum. Okay, he goes down. You just Nathan filling him in the head kind of thing. He falls and his body starts sliding down the ramp.
And I walk over and I push it the rest of the way down the ramp.
Right.
And then I spit off to the side and I go, "No imps on my ship."
Nice.
Fuck, I wish I was there to hear that.
Snargle is glad that he is a goblin instead of an imp.
And I pass the puck to Bishop, seeing as she was called for.
Naomi runs over to the lever and uses her secret to pull the lever.
Dang.
Secret of lever pulling.
The secret of lever pulling. It's really, if I had a nickel for every time I used my secret of lever pulling, I would have 2 nickels. Which is not a lot, but it's crazy it happened twice.
The clamps release on the owl.
Are we still in initiative order?
Nope. And you guys can mosey on.
All right.
Jump to the ship and get out
Cyrus
of here.
gives a sharp whistle and just shouts, "Snargle, take the helm."
Snargle, taking the helm. What have they done to my beautiful ship? They've scuffed all of the deck plates.
Before we leave, just after Naomi pulls the lever, I would just ask her real quick. They're going to keep following us, aren't they?
Of course. But we'll get away. We'll get away. This will work.
No, I need to put a stop to it right here.
We need to go.
I know, but I need to disable the ship.
This is an Imperial cruiser, my lady. Not even you can disable the ship from here. And if we disable this ship, they'll never stop chasing us. Right now, we only have 1 cruiser to deal with.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Steam boiler is heating. We have 50%.
We're getting on board. And Naomi kind of takes your hand, Siri, and leads you up the ramp, basically. Like sisters.
Is that what it is?
And Cyrus is looking, and he realizes there's still missing 1 head, and he gives a big bang on the metal next to the ramp, and he goes, "Kale, I know you're the shadows, but you get the fuck in this ship."
Fuck. And I run as quick as I can.
As soon as he's on the ramp, I flip the switch so the ramp starts going up as he's climbing it.
I give the finger to whoever is still making the way to our ship. And I'm like, fuck you.
So
You'll never catch me alive, coppers.
Right. We have 80% pressure, Captain, and building. We're ready to take off.
All right. I hope nobody left anything behind, because I don't expect to see the inside of this ship ever again in my miserable life.
Fingers crossed, Captain. No wood to hit, unfortunately.
My lady, take a seat. You know this ship is a bumpy ride.
Please, bumpy ride. Isn't a smoother ship and all the... And then as the ship lifts off, I sort of stagger a few steps back. All right, point taken. I throw the 2 shitty Imperial pistols away, and I pull a panel off the wall, and I grab my good pistols.
You never check behind the panels.
Snargle grabs the little brass phone that's next to his pilot steam panel. This is your captain speaking. Oh, wait, no, that's somebody else. Anyways, we're in for a nice ride. The weather is wonderful. I think we're going to... We do a sudden roll as we come out of the hangar back into the sky. Yeah. I think we're going to have a wonderful time. Everybody hang on tight.
Yeah. I imagine a cinematic scene of the owl flying out of the hangar bay of the huge cruiser, fiddle music playing, of course, Firefly style.
Fiddle music.
as we fly out, and the cruiser guns trying to get a lock on us, and bullets fly by us in every direction.
Snargle drops the stylus down on the 1940s greatest hits. Something big bandish.
Gatling guns and other ordnance are being let off behind you. And the cruiser threatens to recapture the owl once again. So shots narrowly miss the ship on either side. The ship rocks to and fro as the ballistics sort of explode around you, and amplified by the presence of the gases and all of that. As
we are making our hasty escape, is the cruiser keeping pace with us, or is it catching up to us?
It is slowly
but surely gaining
ground. Yeah,
and we've got
just
the one
more
gun,
powerful engines, and just the one turret on the back.
All right. Well, then, as Snargle desperately works the controls, actually, no one, not desperately. He's cool as a cucumber. He's just having fun. He does get on the horn. Say, Captain. Could Snargle have a word?
Yeah, the captain makes his way up to the helm. All right. What can I do for you, Snargle?
The sky continues to sort of explode around us as they occasionally fire ranging shots to see whether or not they're ready to blow us out of the water, or at least take our engines out. Mm-hmm. And Snargle continues to juke us back and forth, keeping us just out of range or avoiding the attempts at shots. And he turns to the captain calmly. Snargle is thinking that, very close one there. Getting shot at is not as much fun as... almost. Good try, though. The Imperials are getting better at this. We took a quick sudden dip. As it sounds, I'm thinking that we should head for the depths. With our corrosion treatment and Snargle's special control planes, we should be able to navigate safely through it for at least 10 minutes, and then extremely unsafely for another 3 hours and 50.
All right, that sounds like 4 hours to me. And I mean, these bigger ships don't always do as well in the depths. They definitely have the retrofitting to, get their air right, but
they could follow us, but then they would never be seen again.
It's true. The relative density of the ship versus the density of the gas makes it hard for them to come back out. Out of curiosity, this sheet says that you need to wear a gas mask to breathe in there. Mm-hmm. Does our ship have like an internal air filtration system, or will we need to put the gas masks on as soon as we fly down there?
You would put the gas masks on when you fly down there.
Okay.
No, but your ship would have those, of course.
I would like to knock on the door to the helm.
Yeah. Okay.
I open it just enough for us to be like looking at each other, but not enough for someone to enter.
Right.
Gentlemen, if I may, we're kind of getting shot at here.
Snargle has noticed.
And Bishop standing Bishop standing right behind Lady Blackbird, doing like the Batman stance with her arms crossed, like glaring.
Yeah. So Cyrus was about to start. We're getting shot. I hadn't, and then I see her with her arms crossed. I go, yeah. Snargle and I were just discussing that unfortunate turn of events.
Many, many options, such as suddenly becoming scrap. Hold on a second.
If I may, if there was a way to perhaps get more of the gaseous layer around us through the engines at a faster rate. Do you think we could go faster than the cruiser itself?
And Vance puts sort of like 2 fingers to his chin. Theoretically, it's possible, but what's that old saying they have? The candle that burns twice as bright? That kind of thing. We have no idea what the long-term effects would be on the engine. And if we want to have a prolonged escape, they're going to keep chasing us.
Well, it wouldn't be strain on your engines per se. If I can
Naomi puts a hand on your shoulder. My lady, I do not think this is the time to reveal your abilities to commoners.
I kind of grab her hand. Nye, if we don't get out of here, then what's the point?
We hired them to do a job. Let them do it.
Tell you what, my lady. At this exact moment, the speed isn't our issue. We could still push the engines a little harder as it stands. The problem is it's a long game. We can't outright blow them out of the water. So, what we're gonna do, and he turns around and he grabs 2 gas masks off the shelf behind him, and he holds them out through the door. What we're gonna do right now is head into the lower depths. Now, they can't follow us down there, so with Snargle's mastery of navigation, hopefully we can give them the slip until we can find somewhere to touch down, figure out a course of action.
You are aware of what's down there, right?
I'm aware of what we might find down there, but what I'm further aware of is exactly what we're having to deal with up here.
Siri just kind of shakes her head like, I give up. Grabs the masks, gives one to Naomi, and just, fine, have it your way.
Snargle sees signal coming over the wireless, Captain. It looks like the Hand of Sorrow is signaling to another cruiser ahead of us. I believe they're trying to pincer us.
I walk over to the copper phone that Snargle used earlier and pull it off the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Owl, this time it really is your captain speaking. Anyone who doesn't currently have a gas mask, please put one on. We're going under. I hang the phone, I slam the phone down, throw Snargle his gas mask, and I go, alright, let's drop.
Aye, aye.
Kale scrambles to find where he left it.
Yeah.
This is not sick, dude.
Another cinematic scene of the owl descending into the lower depths like a submarine going for a dive. As the gases get thicker and thicker, the pressure around the ship gets stronger and stronger, and you can kind of hear like that creaking as metal gets pushed in a little bit. You thought the ride before was a bit turbulent. Now it's even more so. Like I said, the owl has descended into the depths, surrounded now by the deeper gases. And again, zooming out the camera, you see the cruiser kind of coming to a stop as it watches the owls disappear into the depths. And you zoom into the bridge. And the helmsman sort of stops course and turns to the commander and says, Captain Hollis, the smuggler's ship has descended into the depths. Shall we pursue? Don't be a fool. It's not worth damaging the cruiser. Let the depths claim another victim. We're done here. An hour or two pass in relative peace. And we're going to have a little bit of an interlude. We're going to split the interlude over 2 parts here. So don't be sad if I don't call your name. This interlude is going to be for the female characters. So Naomi Bishop and Natasha Siri are going to pick one other person to have a chat with about whatever they want. I would like to have my conversation with Cyrus. Natasha Siri, who would you like to talk to out of Kale, Arkham, Snargle, or Naomi?
I'm gonna do Kale.
And then Snargle, Kale, and Cyrus, you'll get your chance to initiate a conversation a little later. So this is at some point in the depths. We're now in the depths. The ship's shaking. Every sort of a steam burst pops up, and Kale's run over and patch it or whatever, and the old Cyrus is tapping the side like "Stay together, girl," and bolts or whatever popping out or whatever. So, but it's been a couple hours, and so far so good. We can kind of ride this and pop back out when we need to, kind of thing. So at some point, Naomi catches Cyrus pacing or walking around or eating a sandwich or whatever. There's just you feel a presence behind you, just kind of like standing in a doorway, staring at you for a while. And for a while, she doesn't say anything. So.
All right. After pacing for a while, and her not engaging or leaving either, I finally turn. I put my wrench down and I go, "All right, I'll bite. Is there something I can help you with, Miss Bishop?"
Your scars.
I can help you with my scars.
They're distinctive. There's only certain blades and weapons that make those kinds of cuts across the human skin.
Very astute of you, Miss Bishop.
She shakes her head. I've seen it a lot of times. They made me fight a lot of Imperial soldiers in the pits. I recognized your fighting style immediately.
I mean, you guys did hire us. I'm sure you've heard of our reputation. It's not exactly a secret that I'm ex-Imperial.
No, but it's interesting.
All right, since we've got some time to kill, can I help ease your interest somehow? Clearly you have something you want to ask me.
She plops down on a stool. I spent most of my life killing Imperials. Imperials aren't one to make ex-Imperials. Most ex-Imperials hang from a noose.
Some ex-Imperials are more clever than others. They sure as hell have tried. More than once, I might add.
It's one of the reasons we set up this ship in particular.
And Cyrus just raises his eyebrows, waiting.
I'm just worried that I'm going to have to kill you at some point.
I mean, I'm worried everyone I take on tries to kill me at one point, but is there any particular worry you have? Something I could put to ease, I suppose? I'm not going to turn you over if that's what you're implying.
What got you kicked out?
There are certain orders that Imperial officers can't turn down. There are also certain orders that men who have morals of any sort can't follow through.
And this was one of those kinds of orders?
Exactly.
She looks down. She looks back up. And when you don't share anymore, she stands. Okay, I can follow someone like that.
Look, you spent a lot of time in the pits. I'm sure that more than... And I sort of, like, eye her up and down, noting, like, how well-built she is, the scars she has. I'm wagering, based on the way you handled yourself back there, 75-80% of the people you were put up against were practically children by comparison. You still did it, because you didn't have a choice. I was told I didn't have a choice, but I made one. I don't kill those who can't defend themselves.
An interesting philosophy. She turns towards the doorway and stops, like one hand on the door and turns back. Everyone can defend themselves. And then she starts walking away.
Cyrus picks his wrench back up, starts going back to work, opening and closing valves as he sees fit. Everyone can defend themselves, but some definitely better than others. And he just keeps working away.
All right, Natasha Siri, Kale Arkham.
So yeah. Kale is generally like the repair guy on the ship, right?
He is the engineer. Yeah.
Okay, so what would he be doing?
I basically do everything around here.
So what would your character be doing while Snargle is flying the ship and the captain's kind of like overseeing things?
A few weeks ago, I found this really cool engine that I've never seen before, and what I'm basically doing is taking it apart and putting it back together like 7 times till I know what I'm looking at. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that's what you would be doing.
Yep.
You see as you're doing this, you see Natasha Shiri kind of walk up. Mr. Arkham, is it?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Hey.
Hey, what do you have going on there?
Oh, this. It's just like it's nothing. It's a like an engine. Like it's really like it's small.
Right, yeah, I can see like it's almost like you've like taken apart and put it back together. Like you're putting that stuff in without even that's
Very
incredible.
astute of you, mademoiselle. Glad you noticed. Really cool that you know stuff about engines or whatever. That's really cool.
Well, I actually, if you don't mind me picking your brain for a bit, I do have a few questions about the engines of the Owl. I'm hoping you can help me out.
What? Yeah. What do you want to know?
Well, um, I have a basic understanding of how the ships travel through the gaseous expanse between the different, uh, basically living areas here.
Right.
But what would happen if more gas was to be pumped through your engines at a faster rate? Or
Like
if you were more
increasing the
like
flow, you mean?
either that or like what would happen if the ship was more not aerodynamic but hydrodynamic, I suppose, since it's gas.
So like for water then?
Sort of, yeah, but we're in like a gas, right? So I don't know if that'd be hydrodynamics or aerodynamics.
It's it's like oh, how do I explain it? It's like it's basically the same thing. But if you start putting a fluid through it, it has to depend like what the mass is cuz like if it's a heavy fluid, it's going to put so much strain on the engine that it's just going to fall apart at some point. You know what I'm
So like
saying? Like if
so
it's a
like
lighter
with
fluid, of course we could go through that. Like we could zip through that.
so like right now, because we're in the depths, we're actually putting more strain on the engines then.
Yeah, this is a super slow ride because we're like deep. We're in the heavier gases, right? So
Now is it because it just doesn't it takes longer to process the heavier gas?
it's all about flow. You got the stuff that's coming in and the stuff that's going out. And if it's heavy coming in, then it's gonna also be heavy coming out, right? So it's gonna doubly slow it down.
Right. Okay. Can you like give me like a quick tour back here? Haven't been on here long, but
Yeah, and Kale sort of like stands up and like,
and with that she kind of like places a gentle hand on like your forearm.
oh, uh, yeah, let me give you the grand tour.
Natasha knows exactly what she's doing.
So I like take you through the different doorways to like the smaller rooms by where like the actual engines are.
Okay.
Because they're on two separate sides of the owl, right? Because there's the
Hmm.
one side on the left and the other on the right. The main engine is probably somewhere in the middle, but where each of the ones like the outside part, like I'll take you to each side and I'll like, so this is like the left side, right? And then on the other side is like it's like the right side.
Well,
So
I believe they're the port and starboard, right?
yeah, you could call it that.
Oh my goodness, you're so smart.
Well, like that's kind of crazy that like no one's ever said that to me.
What? Really? Oh man. And
But
then
they like you
she
don't
like
need
gives you
to
like a
because like
gentle like tap on your shoulder.
oh yeah, like because I already know that I'm a genius, or else the captain would never have brought me aboard the ship, right? So
Makes sense, yeah.
because he's like, fuck, he's so cool. He's like, man, that guy, like, he came and took like this stupid like little idiot and like made him me, which is so sick.
So, Mr. Arkham, can I call you Kale?
Anytime you like Lady Blackbird.
Oh, you don't need to do that. You just call me Natasha.
Oh, holy shit.
But hey, if I wanted to do something crazy, can I count on your support?
I mean,
You're up for crazy shit sometimes, right?
Fuck yeah. I'm the craziest one on this fucking ship, dude.
Sweet.
Fuck. Like what, like how, like, so, like what kind of crazy are you talking about?
Oh, well, you'll know when you see it.
Sick. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I love that. Oh, that's fucking, yeah, of course. Yes, you, of course, like, and I salute you, like, yes, 100%.
And I just give him a quick like curtsy, and I like blow him a kiss.
Right.
Holy shit.
Mm.
This is so crazy.
and then I go back to my own business.
Right. Gotcha.
Oh, I can't, like, I go back to like fiddling with the small engine that I'm taking apart, but I completely forget what goes where at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah,
Exactly,
we've
yeah.
had gas masks on this entire time, so it's more like a gas mask kiss blow.
Yes.
The whole time we are all actually sounding like this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
My name is Bane.
Yeah.
That's my name.
It's just really well designed gas mask, a little audio pass through.
My question is, do these gas masks, because like when you speak through heavier gases, it tones your voice down because the audio waves are slower through it. So
yeah, so everyone sounded like this.
Yeah, but remember the heavier gases are outside the ship. This is a pressurized submarine, so it wouldn't have changed.
Right.
So why are we wearing
internally.
gas masks if we've got a pressurized submarine? Is it just a precaution?
Yeah, presumably just in case.
If a hole
at any moment we might pop a rivet,
change.
in which case you better not be breathing the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that conversation happens, a few more quiet moments pass before suddenly everyone on the ship is rocked to and fro. There's a terrible, there's a rocking sensation, and suddenly the ship just stops dead in its tracks and sort of rumbles in place like it's trying to move but can't. And all around, and in the distance you hear sort of the equivalent of like whale song from the depths below, as again the ship is rocked in, and that straining sound of becomes way worse. Like, I don't know, something's constricting the ship.
As soon as Cyrus hears the quote-unquote whale sounds, he basically just throws his wrench to the floor and shouts, "Motherfuck!" And he starts running towards the gun turret.
Yeah. Naomi seeing him go, what's happening? We're stopped.
God, I hope I'm wrong, but it's probably one of those fucking squids.
If a sky squid's got us, it could tear us apart.
Not if I get it first, and I keep running towards the turret.
Okay.
Nice.
Crew of the Owl, passengers of the Owl. The Owl is in the grips of a terrifying sky squid. The horror of the depths. It's
horror.
One of its long, terrifying eldritch tentacles is starting to curl its way around the ship to grab onto it and drag it down into a tasty snack. If you had a cinematic view, it would probably be a top-down view right now of the ship floating through basically the deep ocean, and there's just like one like squid tentacle starting to wrap its way around the ship, and then the camera would probably pan out and you would probably see like two like glowing red eyes just like in the blackness below.
Good thing we brought our squid repellent.
Foreboding maybe a much larger creature than first figured.
Snargle grabs the brass horn from beside his control panel. Captain to the bridge, thank you.
Oh, nice!
The captain, the captain does in fact not go to the bridge. He goes straight to the turret, but there's also a phone in the turret, which he picks up.
Yeah.
So he gets in the gunner's seat and he picks up the phone. Snargle, Captain the Snargle, I'm in the turret.
Snargle here. It seems that we are in fact in the grips of a fucking squid.
God damn it.
It would be hilarious if the communications on this submarine is basically just like the paper cups with the string.
Yeah, basically. That's how they used to do it, more or less.
We are in initiative. Sorry, I'm just going to say, after this conversation, we will be dropping into initiative, starting with you.
Okay.
Okay.
How hard can you push it, Snargle? Can we go full flank speed down here?
Snargle doesn't recommend it. We're already pushing the engines about 110% past their efficiency rating. But Snargle is willing to destroy Kale's engines if you are okay with it.
Right, let's just not tell him until after it's over. Alright, Blackbird had an idea. I'm going to order her to the bridge. She can tell you what she can do, hopefully. And I put the phone down, flip a switch on the phone and pick it up. I say, Lady Blackbird, please report to the bridge. And then I slam the phone down and I get my fingers on the triggers.
Nice. Okay, top of round
Kale's
one.
already screaming in the engine room. This is so sick.
This is fucked.
Fucking sick.
Okay, top of round one, Cyrus. Escape from the sky squid or die. You going first, or are you deferring?
I'm going to defer.
Okay.
I'm going to defer to Lady Blackbird.
Okay, so Lady Blackbird, you're first in the round.
How does movement work?
Don't worry about it. Just tell me what you want to do
okay.
with your action, and we can abstract things. So keep it cinematic.
Well, would I know what's happening at this point, or no?
Yeah, Cyrus has told you to come to the bridge. That's what you know. That's what you know. You've obviously heard the ship shaking and rumbling and the weird wailing from outside.
I wouldn't know about the fucking squid, would I? Okay.
I mean, you know, like things like that assumably exist, but I don't think Siri's ever been to the depths, so it would be like an urban legend at this point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all my knowledge is book knowledge.
Yeah.
I go to the bridge, and I'm assuming Snargle's there. All right, Mr. Snargle. Captain called me here. What's the problem?
Snargle would love to entertain Lady Blackbird, but Snargle is in the midst of trying to not get us crushed by a giant squid.
Giant squid? What are you talking about?
Snargle points out one of the many portholes, one of the few portholes, actually, to be honest. For a bridge, it really ought to have more, towards where you can just see one of the giant suckers on the thick glass pane.
Oh my, that's one big tentacle.
Snargle gives you a long, unhinged sort of look, and then turns back to his control panel.
Does he stretch his face so he can have a long face?
That's right. Snargle is mildly disconcerted by your excitement. Snargle is busy.
I don't know what the captain wanted me to do.
Snargle imagines a little dance, maybe a song. Snargle is not sure what Lady Blackbird is good for.
Excuse me, good Mr. Snargle.
Snargle is not used to being talked to by his cargo.
And I guess my final action is storming off for the bridge. And then I'll pass it to... I was going to pass it to Snargle. Oh. No, I'll pass it to Kale.
That was a fun conversation. I really enjoyed it. Kale.
Right, so I'm in the engine room. How are the engines dealing, Nathaniel?
They're in pain.
Yeah.
Your babies are in pain. They're being squished by a squid.
They're
So-
No,
flying.
no. And I'm like trying to like tighten like bolts and like nuts and just like fuck. And then I would like to
Mhm.
cast a spell to tighten the nuts on these engines. I'm using petty magic, and this is definitely a light spell.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 + 1. It's just 3 dice, but you could also use some for your personal pool. So.
How important is this roll for you?
Yeah.
So
You could
I'm just gonna try.
You could break apart. So.
Yeah, I mean, like this. That's true. That is true. I'll use one from my personal pool.
Okay. Die accepted. 5d6.
I accepted. Your character's dead.
Wow. Anyways, you roll 3 4s, so don't worry about it. Or 4 4s.
4
so don't worry
4s,
about
yeah.
it.
And how does my spell trying to keep the engine together go?
Okay, so again, your blood sort of tingles as well. You get that like weird numbing sensation throughout your body. You're glad you're alone because it's always kind of a vulnerable feeling when you extend what magical powers you have to around you. And there's this sensation of almost like a bubble building up inside of you and then extending out and sort of covering the ship as best as it can. And some of that creaking and cracking begins to stop as you hold the ship together by sheer will. So you've bought the ship more time in the squid's efforts to crush the ship, like cracking open a walnut, has definitely been halted. Now, of course, it comes down to just getting out of his grasp. But the ship's doing a lot better than it was before.
Sick.
And everyone around the ship, unaware exactly of what Kale has done, is also aware of the ceasing of that like that obvious crunching sound.
Would me, just out of curiosity, would me walking out of the bridge on my way back to the quarters have to pass through the engines, or no?
No, the engines would be
Okay.
their own compartment at the back. So, but being magically inclined, you might like just feel like a shiver down your spine or something when he does it. Okay, Kale, pass the puck.
To Snargle.
Snargle is going to try and take the captain up on his command, push the engines past the red line, hope that Kale is doing his usual to keep things together, and do some tricky maneuvering to get the gun in a good position to stick the squid where it hurts.
Nice.
So I'm thinking pilot.
Pilot makes perfect sense.
We got some daring in there, I think.
Definitely.
Steady, because the point, of course, is to get us into a good position.
Nice steady angle. Makes sense.
Maneuvering, for much the same reason.
Yep.
Evasion.
Okay.
Arguably, because we're trying to deal with the thing trying to crush us, and we are in turn trying to not be crushed.
Okay, I'll think about it. Yeah.
A little bit of tricky flying going on here, because we are in fact in the grips of a sky squid.
Tricky flying, yeah.
And in the depths as well. So tricky flying is what's the sort of the recipe of the day.
Yeah.
Navigation, I don't think so. Maps, atmospherics, perhaps, since we are dealing with the soup-like atmosphere of the depths.
Okay.
And finally, battle.
Oh yeah, you unlocked it with your XP. Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
What say you? So all of those -2.
I'll allow everything you said except for evasion, because it's hard to evade when in his grasp. But pilot, daring, study, maneuvering, tricky flying, atmospherics, and battle. I'll allow those. 5 successes. Wow. Damn, Chris, that's 2 supernatural successes today.
Snargle would like to point out that he is good at his job.
Yeah.
Chris rolling the best out of any of us again.
Welcome to the club, Christian. Okay.
Is Snargle always winning? It must be a Wednesday.
The squid almost loosens its grip a little bit as its food seems to be squirming a little too much for its liking. But you get it like perfectly in line with the turret decreasing the difficulty that the turret needs to get a good shot on the squid. So pass the puck.
Snargle to captain. Snargle to captain. Now would be a wonderful time.
He's just so casual about it.
And so far, Naomi hasn't had a chance to go. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
On to Naomi.
Okay. Naomi's gonna jump out one of the hatches and punch the squid.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for that.
Naomi runs to like the submarine hatch on the top of the ship, like Samus style. And pulls out her knife and like Rambo, like puts it in her mouth like Rambo style. Well, no, she's got the gas mask on. She can't do that. Damn it. Okay, never mind. She just holds it in her hand like a regular person, unfortunately.
She shoves it through her mask like a crazy person style.
And like jumps over onto the squid, like grabs onto one side and starts stabbing like the tentacle.
What?
Like over and over again with the knife.
So the pressurized ship that we were in is no longer pressurized and no longer breathable.
No, she goes through the hatch. So there's like a...
It's an
the whole
airlock.
inner door, outer door thing?
Inner door, outer door thing. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
She must have really spun that wheel to get it sealed that quick.
yeah, she's strong.
What can I tell you? She did it.
It's
All
literally one of her secrets.
Doesn't seem like that much of a secret now that you said it.
Too
I'm
strong.
actually...
Must nerf.
I'm gonna pick bodyguard as her trait this time because her intention is to defend the ship from this monster. So, I'm gonna go with threats. This is definitely a threat to the ship. Defend. That's her purpose. She's trying to defend the ship by being a new threat. Disarm.
Best defense is stabbing a squid.
Disarm. Literally. And
I don't know. Do tentacles count as arms? Or are they legs? This might be like a disleg.
Damn, this is dangerous because it's the GM doing it. I feel like if we said that shit, you would laugh us out of the room. I like it though.
Yeah, Naomi's kind of crazy, guys.
A little bit.
Surprise.
Anyways, it's right back to my theater roots because I don't know why, but every play I've been in, like 80% of all the plays I've ever acted in, I've actually played a crazy person. So
80% of all the plays I've ever been in, I've had to swim in corrosive gas, which is crazy. You would think it would come up less.
I play a lot of crazy people for some reason. Anyways,
you're just crazy good at playing crazy people.
Bodyguard, awareness, threats, defend, and disarm. That's what we're going to go with here. So 5 + 1 is 6. Bam! 4 successes. Stabby. You hear like the like whale song you were hearing before turns to like a higher pitched screech as the creature obviously lets out in pain. Okay, and then I pass the puck to Cyrus Vance.
Yes. So Cyrus finds it a little unfortunate that he was not put on the phone with Lady Blackbird, which is what he was hoping Snargle was going to do, and realizing that this is not going to come to fruition at this point, he just gets on the phone. He opens the general comms channel, and he goes, "All right, Snargle's put me into position to lay into it with the guns. Here's what we're going to do. As soon as I start laying into it with the guns, Snargle, you're going to punch this thing as hard as it can go." Sorry, Kale. And Lady Blackbird, whatever you thought you could do with the engine to soup it up a little bit, just go for it.
Snargle understands.
So remember, get all this popping as soon as the guns start firing. Damn, I don't know that Naomi's outside.
Rip.
Don't worry about it.
I begin shooting at the squid. Like he's turned me in position that I can shoot at its like center mass, so I'm gonna start blasting at its center mass.
Okay, go for it.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with warrior. I'm not gonna get many dice for this. I don't know who's
had some help. Luckily, you've just had some help lowering the difficulty. So
yes. I mean, I don't know who's supposed to shoot the turret, but it's not me based on these stats. So warrior, battle hardened, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Shooting, obviously, which puts me at 4 total. And then I'll add one of my personal dice to the pool for a total of 5.
Okay, go for it, man. Let's do it.
4
Bang,
successes.
bam, boom. 4 out of 5, baby. You pelt the squid, and finally, after all that abuse, the squid starts to ease its grip on the ship, and and the tentacle begins to unfurl around the owl. Seeing the tentacle unfurl, Naomi Bishop cinematically climbs back into the hatch because the GM's playing her, and I get to act out of turn. I climb back into the hatch.
Cheating.
You can see burns on her skin from the gas exposure, like she just came out of a burning building or something like that. And she kind of drops. She kind of drops onto the airlock floor once the outer hatch is closed. So Snargle, you rolled well enough earlier that I'm just going to carry that roll forward for the book it roll that Cyrus ordered you to do. So I'm just going to ask.
Snargle shoves all of the controls forward, like they do on the movies.
Yeah, all the levers forward at once, all the buttons.
All the buttons.
I think
all the fast.
And then I'm just going to ask, I guess, Kirk to make the roll for his sort of boosting the engines thing that he was alluding to earlier.
Is there anyone else around?
Probably not, no. Kale's in the engine room, Cyrus is in the gun turret.
Okay.
And you just left Snargle, so...
Okay, cool. And then, so what I would like to do, if nobody's around, is I want to place my hand on the outer shell of the hull and try and use my wind magic to manipulate the currents of the gases around us.
Yes.
To make them either lighter by dispersing them. I think that'd be the best way to do it. Not manipulating the engine themselves, but manipulating the gas by trying to disperse them and make them lighter around us, that it allows us to move faster through it and kind of creating this light gaseous bubble.
Okay.
Similar to a warp bubble.
Yes, of course. Yeah, no, I got it. I get you.
Right? So, yeah.
So Master Sorcerer, I'm assuming.
What? No. Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Channeling, Stormblood, and Wind.
And Wind, yes. Absolutely. So that is 5 + 1, 6?
3, 4, 5. Yep, 6.
Again, you see the engines blast off. The ship is enveloped in another field, and Kale, you probably feel this. Like I said, mages feel mages. And there's like an electric shock that runs through the ship. Everyone at a control console sometimes probably has to lift their hands away for a moment as the static runs through it. As the electricity coming out of Ciri's blood runs through the ship to try to boost the engines. And boosted they are. Coming out of the squid's grip, the ship begins to careen through the depths at twice the speed it was going before. And quite a speed for a little ship, and the sky squid is too hurt, too insulted, and too slow to grab the owl once again. So it disappears into the depths again.
Snargle said mean things to the squid as well.
Naomi is going to mark hurt for her exposure to the corrosive gases. And as the scene starts fading to black, the owl begins careening through the depths towards its ultimate destination.
2 hours away.
And that's the end of part 1.
Yay.
Bum ba bum.
Holy shit.
Pick up the phone again.
Sick!
Ladies and gentlemen, we just hit a bit of turbulence. It would seem the worst of it is behind us. We will, in the next... I look out the turret. Probably half an hour be leaving the depths. Next stop, Nightport.
Snargle wishes the captain wouldn't jinx things.